guys, it is Alina here. Welcome back to Malina Life channel, where I share with you my fascinating life in beautiful Sweden. So today I'm bringing you an exciting April report from my first Stockholm Cultural Night. And I have to say it in advance, it was one of the best days of the year for me. And I really recommend you guys, if you're planning your trip to Stockholm in late April, mark this day in your calendar because I promise it will be one of the best days in your adventure. This is my first year in Stockholm and this is my first cultural night. Fun fact, even though I have been living here for a year, I haven't visited a single museum yet. And I think it is good because I saved myself for this special day, and as I said earlier, it was great. Also, I was so impressed, the list of museums and events were endless. So many interactive activities, excursions. For this reason, I was a bit confused because I didn't know where I want to go at first, what I want to see. The entrance is free everywhere. So yeah, it is a lot for the first time, and I decided to choose something basic. I also chatted with people who've lived here longer than me, and they said that they can always find something new to visit on this day, so I guess it is a perfect day for everyone. What was good for me, it wasn't exactly cultural night, it is more like cultural evening. Everything started at 6 p.m. and continued until midnight. Some of museums were open until 2 a.m. My first thought was I want to end it around 9 p.m. but haha, of course that was impossible because so many places and so many activities, and this is only in one place. Before we dive into my cultural night adventures in Stockholm, I want to share some important information with you. Many of you ask me about finding housing in Sweden. Whether you are planning to move here or need to change your current housing, finding a place can be challenging. I'll face the same challenge next year. That's where Samtrygg comes in, a reliable service for finding housing in Sweden. Samtrygg is a secure marketplace with thousands of satisfied landlords and tenants across Sweden. With Samtrygg you get the ability to apply and sign a rental contract without a Swedish personal identity number, fraud protection, possibility to rent a house without a deposit if you have a Swedish social identification number, home insurance for the first 30 days with Hedvig, personal customer service throughout your rental period, safe contract agreements, free legal advice. Follow the link in the description below and check out Samtrygg. Happy house hunting! Now let's continue our adventures. Let's go to our first place, and as I mentioned earlier, choose something more basic. And as a choreographer, you can guess it. As a choreographer in my past, you can guess it, I choose Swedish Royal Opera. So let's go. First of all, I knew there would be queues, especially at iconic spots like the Royal Opera, but I had no idea they would be that long. I showed up just half an hour early and the line was already snagging around the block. My dreams of catching the first show featuring performances by young choreographers seemed to vanish into thin air. But guess what? Little luck was on my side. Somehow I ended up near the front of the line. It felt like magic, even though it might have been a bit of queue chaos. I just went with the flow and found myself at the entrance. Once inside, I made it just in time for the show to start. It was a performance of young choreographers showing off their classical and modern dance pieces. I'm usually a fan of modern styles, but the classical performances blew me away. Let's enjoy a few dance pieces together.
I believe that the whole project was productive because we have so much talent in the house. I felt that it was important to share this talent with you guys.
Drop your thoughts in the comments, and did you love it? Are you a ballet fan, and what's your take on dance in general? As someone who's deeply rooted in the dance world, it is hard for me to completely detach and just enjoy the art. I call it professional deformation. The choreographers were clearly at the start of their journeys, and some parts were a bit raw and chaotic, but there were moments of pure brilliance. While I didn't see anything revolutionary, I absolutely loved the show. The dancers' form and skill were top-notch. Their movements were fluid and effortless, and their stunning physiques added an extra layer of aesthetic delight. Now let's dive into the theater itself. The hall might be small, but it is like stepping into a fairy tale. You can feel the history and cultural richness oozing from every corner. There was a decade out in gold, framed with a large red velvet, cozy balconies, luxurious chandeliers, and a royal vibe in every detail. And the patent ceiling, absolutely stunning. This has to be one of the most beautiful opera houses ever, and its size makes it feel super cozy. Now let's move to another hall that totally blew my mind. Everything here was even grander, more royal, and absolutely magnificent. And guess what? I stumbled upon opera karaoke! Talk about a delightful surprise. It was a blast, and the artist's charm made the atmosphere so relaxed and fun. Luckily, the operas were in Italian and pretty much familiar to everyone, making it even more enjoyable. Come join the fun! The event organization was spot on. There were cute little bars with food and drinks everywhere and plenty of water stations for visitors. Plus there was a special program for kids, so if you are coming with family, everyone can have an amazing time. As I wandered through the theater's enchanting corridors, I found another gem, the chance to try on pointe shoes. Of course, I couldn't resist. Although I had some classical dance training in the past, as a contemporary dancer, I'd only tried pointe shoes a few times in my childhood. It was both hilarious and exciting to give them another go. With my opera house adventure wrapped up, it was time for the next thrill. I walk on an old ship, but as I made my way to the island of Holmen, something caught my eye. The toy museum had no queue. Being the spontaneous adventurer that I am, I couldn't resist stopping by, and let me tell you, it was totally worth it. I embarked on a fun-filled journey into the world of childhood and amazing old treasures. The toys I saw were mind-blowing, nothing like the ones I had growing up. I didn't even know such incredible toys existed. I had always thought our era had the coolest toys, but it turns out that the world of toy magic started way earlier. The toy museum was a playground of wonder, especially the section with toy houses. These little miniatures were absolutely stunning, though a bit spooky at times. And the comic book area? Love it. I'm not a huge comic fan, but seeing those vintage versions and learning about their origins was super cool. And just like that, my spontaneous escapades came to a halt, and it was off to the ship. Of course there was a line, as expected. Let me tell you, it was a real test. The day was chilly, and standing outside by the water did nothing to warm me up. To make matters worse, I didn't realize right away that I had to queue for a ticket before joining the line for the ship. So, with my expectation high and a dash of personal confusion, I ended up wasting a lot of time and finally boarded the ship after a good hour and a half. While waiting for the smaller vessel, I took the chance to explore the bigger one and marvel at how it was laid out. It was all so fascinating to me. Before Stockholm, I had never set foot on all ships, nor did I have any experience of life on a boat. But in just a year here, I've seen and learned so much. I've sailed on many boats, ships and yachts, and I've truly fell in love with life on the water. Now my dream is to buy my own yacht. I'm eager to dive deeper into this world. Finally, I was on a long-awaited boat. Sure, I was freezing and the walk was short, not to mention it was dark. But despite it all, I was as happy as a kid in candy store. As we sailed to the museum island, shivering with cold, I realized it was time to wrap it up my adventure. But when I saw the Vasa Museum ahead, I couldn't resist. After all, when else would such a unique opportunity present itself? That's what I thought. As it was already late, around 10 p.m., there was no queue at the Vasa Museum. I strolled right in, and there it was, the famous ship right before my eyes. It is truly awe-inspiring, with so many intricate details and such grandeur. It is a shame that this magnificent creation never got to fulfill its mission. According to history, it sank almost immediately after being launched, despite taking many years to build. It reminded me of an important life lesson. Big mistakes can lead to growth and development. It is crucial not to give up, even in the face of total disappointment, and to keep pushing forward, trying again and again. That's how we navigate through life, growing and evolving. I didn't spend too long at the Vasa Museum, only managing to see the ship. I definitely plan to come back with a guide tour to explore it more thoroughly. Well, this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any question about the cultural night and you want to know more about this day, write me about this in the comment below. See you in the next video. Bye bye!